between this or that, and integrating that. So I think what I'll do is I will use the next bit to do a little exercise. I'm just going to take a moment to do this. So what I'll do is we're going to have here our physical goals. And our spiritual goals. Yeah, and then what we'll do is we're going to have here, so this will be, let's say, this will be personal, and then this is business, and the final one will be social. Okay, so you guys give me an example on this side. So what is a physical goal that you would want? Anyone can shoot it out. Health? Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Triathlon.
Okay, so let's start with health first. And did you say tree of life?
Triathlon.
Say that again?
Triathlon.
Triathlon, awesome. Is that how you spell it? Okay, maybe with an I. Oh dear. Okay. So it sounded though. Oh, it's so funny. Okay. Well, so what we want to do is it doesn't matter, whatever it is. So let's work with the health, right? So if health is the physical goal, then spiritual goal. So the spiritual goal would be more something like, well, I'd like to hear what you guys think it might be. Because, well, any ideas?
Yes.
Okay.
Peace, yeah.
Peace.
Peace of mind, yeah.
Peace of mind. Okay. Okay, so peace of mind, yeah. And but I should say, it should relate to the health. Yeah.
Alignment. Hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
Well, I think maybe health and like physical health and peace of mind. Maybe
Okay, I see what you mean.
think-
Yes, okay. So I choose to experience peace of mind. Yes? Okay. So I'll just put peace of mind here. So I guess, and let's just keep doing more examples because, well, actually, let's analyze this a little bit. So if we're working with health, right? So let's say physical health then, or mental health, or all the above. Then, so what you want to do is, if you're like, okay, I want health, I want to be physically healthy and strong and have a clear mind and all the good stuff. What you want to do then is, if you want that goal, is you want to then look at what is it that your soul, and this is from using your intuition and touching in close to what you know of yourself, is like, what do you feel your soul or spirit wants to experience to get to the health? So in other words, do you want to feel, I want to experience what it feels like to have peace of mind, but how do you get to peace of mind?
How do I get to peace of mind?
Or how would the challenge be? Like what would be how would you get to peace of mind?
Meditation.
Alone time, being alone.
Well, being alone.
Beach.
Okay.
Friends.
Yeah. So say, for example, being alone, right? Say you're one that you're always doing so many things, you're so around so many people, and maybe you feel uncomfortable being alone. But maybe your soul actually really wants you to spend time alone. So if you spend time alone, let's say, just to be in introspection, and that's what your soul really wants, then you will get the health. Let's use another example. I'll just keep going. So give me another, maybe more of a physical goal, meaning like
Fitness.
say it again.
Fitness.
Fitness. Okay, fitness.
Buying a car or
Yes,
house.
car. Yeah, car, house. Perfect. Okay. So let's do that. Car, house. Because, all right. So if you want a physical car, okay, the universe is like, okay, you want a physical car. But if you want, so the spiritual goal could be, let's say, maybe the house is, I want to experience what it's like being in interdependence. So for example, maybe you're always codependent, or you've always been too independent, like I was once, and so maybe you're like, maybe I want to try to experience what it's like to be interdependent. So that's a spiritual goal. And then, when you have that, so I'll write that, interdependence. This is just an example, interdependence. Then, you can automatically get the house. Because your soul's like, oh yeah, I know you want to experience what it's like to be this, so we'll get you a house, because that's what you're here for, to experience. Does that make sense? A little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No? No.
I don't understand. You say it.
Oh, okay, so you're gonna pick, okay, why don't you call out, you wanna do car as an example? Yeah?
Yeah, actually, I want
Or you pick one for you, because I want it to ring with your soul. So what's something you really want as a physical goal?
this year, I want to get a van.
Get a van.
What's that inside?
Woohoo! Okay, so a nice van. Okay. So let's say maybe, let's say this van means, okay, you're going to be transporting, you're going to be moving, you're going to be going from locating, you're traveling. Are you one to stay in one spot all the time? Do you find like you're always kind of feeling stuck?
Yes, I enjoy being where I am. Because I'm an artist, I'm too much in my bubble. And I move here, I haven't explored much anywhere, so I want to move around. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So then maybe in your heart you're like, oh, I really just want to like travel a bit, and maybe I could be a traveling artist. That would be so cool, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So that's what you want. But then, so now how can you? Okay. So then let's say a traveling artist, right? So then maybe it could be then the spiritual goal. So think of it as a lesson, a learning, something challenging that you want to work through that's a little bit uncomfortable. What do you think that might be?
To save money, it's uncomfortable.
Okay, yes, okay. Okay, but let's say more about something like, save money is kind of more like a physical goal. So let's say more something about, I want to experience what it feels like to get lost somewhere and to just kind of find my way through that. You see what I
Yes,
mean?
yeah, I understand. For example, in case I want to spend a lot of time by myself in a van and within that escapes.
Okay,
I
yes.
want to go and experience that long time for 2 weeks or a month away.
Okay. But let's go even deeper than that. This is good for everyone to really like narrow in on it, because that's still a physical goal.
What about to be free and independent?
There you go. Yes, and yes, does that make so now your soul's like, yeah, I want to be free. I want to feel what it feels like to be free and independent on my own. I'm just like in my own business. I don't need to depend on anyone. And
Yes.
there you go.
Yes.
So now that you make that connection with being independent and free,
Yeah.
then your universe is going to be like, yeah, we'll get you a van. Because you want to experience those things, and it's a spiritual goal. So it's going to work.
Thank you. Good way of saying it, yeah.
Yeah. Is it making sense? Does it?
Yeah.
Anyone have any questions about
It's like you have to be alone to think about what it is you really want.
Yes.
And to
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's about definitely taking time to
So
yourself.
you have to get rid of the noise or
Yes.
other people's opinions.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Absolutely. Yes. Totally. Other people's opinions. We're so distracted by the external as well, right? That we then.
But there's a point where you can become so sensitive to
Yeah. Yeah.
to people, to noise.
Yeah, and then that's where the discernment comes in, but it just takes time. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you like have a physical goal that you reached in the past,
Yeah.
and now you want to reach again, so then the spiritual goal has shifted. because you're pursuing the same physical goals, but for a different spiritual
Beautiful.
meaning.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Well, that's a very important question, and perhaps maybe if you're feeling that way, then maybe there's still a chance for you, but maybe not in the way that you think. I don't know, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe there's, yeah, and it's worth the try to challenge it, because this universe is just a game. It's just a matrix to play, and we're here to really just enjoy and experience and have experiences, and sometimes they're unpleasant, sometimes they're great, but it just is what it is, and we're all evolving and growing and moving together, and yeah, we're all here to help each other. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
So I'm just checking if there's any, is there any other questions about,
Do you believe the universe, like if you're aware to signs, you know what I mean? I've got an issue where I live, and I'm on a corner at the bottom of the hill, and before I came here today, a car came down the hill and did 360, and it was all like, here we go again. Every time it rains, and I'm like, should I sell my house? I love my house, but it's probably the biggest decision I've ever had to make.
yeah. Yeah, you know, sometimes we can read into things too much, but when we read into things, we start to move into the linear analytical brain. It's a balance of instinct and intuition.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, and also, yeah. Any other questions about the process? And then, I mean, we could see the same thing is done in business, right? So, like, for example, business, say you work in corporate, and you know you want to get up the ladder, right? Then this would be, the spiritual goal would be something like, you know, I want to experience working really as a team leader. Like, I've never been a leader before. How can I do that? Well, then if I set the intention, and that intention is so important, set the intention, I want to be a leader, well then you will go up that ladder because you spiritually are working towards that. Yeah. And then again, the social, I mean, those are pretty much the main things, right? Personal, business, and social. You know, it could be like, I want to have parties of 50 people or whatever regularly, where this one could be then, I don't know, what you guys tell me, what could be one?
You want to share the joy of life.
I love it. Share the joy of life. Because that's your gift, I would imagine, right? Yeah. Yeah. So that's how that goes. Well, anyways, we have a couple of minutes left. I guess I could just share if there's any other, yeah? Yeah.
So, are you kind of suggesting that if you have a physical goal,
Yeah.
try and look inside as to why you want that, rather than just wanting it and trying to get it? Actually
Absolutely.
search for why is it you want the car or the house, because
Absolutely.
in your experience you did all that and you had all that, and then
Yeah.
you realised that's not really what I want.
Yeah, and you know, so I know that I'm in the human design, I'm a generator 3-5 heretic, so in my, you know, astrology and numerology has really helped me figure out who I am, and I learn by trial and error. So I've been asked to be brought here, I think, to experience the trials and errors so that way I can help others. I'll have to go through the same shit. And so, you know, I did that, I did this and all that because I was very ego-driven because of my trauma and the pain and the suffering. And I mean, everyone's got their own, but for me, I remember in my experience, it was traumatic. So I then went and followed that. But then when I reached that point, I ended up going the other way. And I'm still learning. I'm only 37, but you know, it's still just making our way through that. Yeah.
Would you say everyone has their own unique way of guiding themselves to that, to knowing that knowing? Like,
Interesting.
you know, and then what's your process?
Yeah, beautiful. Right. Yeah, because I know that I am a sacral authority. I know that, like, and I'm also quite, I'm feeling intuitive sensing, and then maybe other people are different. in that way. So, but I do believe that everyone has their, like, everyone's got a heart, right? Everyone's got a soul. So if you just go in and tune into that and see a pattern, oh yeah, and just the feeling is like, I think what's really special about humans is that we feel it unlike other species on this earth, right? So does that answer the question a little bit in some ways?
Yeah, whatever you need to do to tap into the felt sense, I guess your own felt sense.
Yeah, and also, you know, so why you end up with not selling the house yet, or not doing the traveling artistry or whatever. You know, maybe eventually you'll get there, or something will change and shift, but then oftentimes catalysts happen and other things happen. I'm not saying that would be something to do, but because you said it, I would imagine that maybe it's something you really want to do.
Well, for me, I lost my job when COVID hit, and I'm just like winging it.
Yes.
Like reminding heads, doing all these things to pay the house insurance, to do this. In the meantime, I've got cars nearly driving into my house, and I'm like, I love it. I've got a pool, I'm a minute from the beach. It's perfect, but I'm thinking, what's the next step?
I think going to that spiritual world, yeah.
You've got to let go to
Maybe that's the spiritual world.
to evolve. I mean, I used to travel the world once, and now I've got my house and
Yeah. Well, just like you were mentioning again, then maybe just tune in deeper, because you know.
it's hard.
Yes, it is. It actually is. It really is. Like, it
When
really
you're by
is.
yourself, it's to make a big decision, I find it daunting. Because there's a housing crisis and
Yeah.
like being practical.
But just keep asking, what is it that your soul is calling for you in this moment now? And I'm just going to ask you.
Just, I suppose, to bring all of your awesome questions together.
Yeah.
What is it that you find that helps you come to that conclusion of that's exactly what my intuition or instinct wants? Thank you, soul. I use meditation,
Beautiful.
writing, sitting,
Yeah. Well,
dancing.
for me, the word that came instantly was inspiration. It's this feeling of like, oh, it feels so good. And then all of a sudden, then the other brain comes in and goes, no, but this, you got that. And you're like, oh. So yeah, I would say it's the inspiration. It's like, it feels so good. It's like light, and that's how I would interpret it.
I guess trying to recognise that inspiration when it comes, because
Ah,
sometimes
good point. Yes.
sometimes it comes and it gets squashed
Okay,
very
it comes in like an idea, a feeling of like an action as well. Like it's this amalgamation of action, excitement, the plan, the direction. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I guess taking note of the excitement before your logical brain starts going,
Yes.
oh gosh, but you can't do that and you can't do this.
Yes. Exactly. Okay, guys, that's it. I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to my story.